Our kids have probably asked many questions about coronavirus and in many cases have many fears. Learn English has some great tips to share for helping kids work through their fears.
Hey y'all, it's Lauren English from Pinnacle Point Hospital. I'm a licensed professional counselor and business development representative, and I'm sorry I can't be with you at KATV in the studio today to talk on our typical Therapeutic Thursday segment, but I'm practicing my social distancing, and I'm going to give you some tips today about how to talk to your kids about the coronavirus. I know that we're hearing a lot about that. It's been a really uncertain time these past few weeks, and so a lot of people wonder, this mysterious illness, how do we talk to our kids about it, especially right now because adults are also pretty panicked about it, and we know that it's important for kids to continue to feel safe and smart in the world, and that we as adults have to be the ones to help make sure that they feel that way. One thing that we can remember is that it's reasonable to be concerned, but for the vast majority of people, children included, there isn't a reason to be fully panicked right now, especially if we can continue our good, healthy hygiene habits and practicing our social distancing. So right now, let's go through and talk about ways parents, adults, teachers, anybody that's involved with the child's life can have the coronavirus talk with their children. I recommend focusing on these 4 aspects. Number 1, focus on the facts. One way to help children minimize their fears is to share age-appropriate facts and correct any misinformation they may have heard. We want to keep it simple, especially with young kids. So something you could say is, you know how it feels when you have a cold and sometimes you get a cough and have a fever? This is kind of like that. This virus feels a lot like that. And most people who catch this illness can stay home, rest, and then feel better. The good news is that we have wonderful doctors and nurses that are working hard to make sure that people get the help that they need. And also, another tip is to remember to monitor the amount of news that's being watched in your home. The news is really important. We love that resource, but it's meant to be checked and not a full focus of your day. So as parents, adults, we want to be sure to monitor the amount of news that's being watched to help calm their fears. Number 2, reassure your kids that they're safe, which is the most important message that they can hear right now. We know that children take their emotional cues from adults. A lot of times our tones and our energies are easily picked up by kids. So saying something like, you don't need to worry, lots of people are working hard to keep people healthy right now, and luckily there are things that we can do will help kids know that we're all safe and that there are ways that we can help. So how do we help? Number 3, practice healthy hygiene. Share some simple ways that you and your family can be germ busters in your home for all types of germs. The hygiene habits that slow the spread of COVID-19 are the same healthy hygiene habits that we practice all year long to avoid germs. So number 1, we want to wash our hands for at least 20 seconds using soap. And also, number 2, we want to avoid close contact with anybody that's coughing or maybe symptomatic to slow the spread of the infection or the illness. And number 3, we want to stay home if we're sick, so we won't share it with anybody else. Social distancing is a term we're hearing a lot right now, and you can explain that to kids by just reminding them that germs like to travel from person to person. And if we stay home for a while, we can help slow the spread of this virus to new people. And one way that we can be germ busters is to keep us a safe distance from people like our grandparents and other vulnerable populations right now. And that's a major way that we can be helping. Number 4, stay on schedule. Kids thrive on routine. And this is one of the best ways to keep a sense of normalcy right now during this uncertain time. While school's out, find an example schedule online or maybe one that your teacher can provide for you to help you manage the homeschool activities. Teachers are working extra hard right now to teach virtually, and I know they would be more than happy to help you if you're having trouble with homeschool or just needing some more support. Most importantly, don't forget to make time every day for some fresh air, some fun, some mindfulness, and movement with your kids. They need this so much so that we can create a sense of normal in our day and just keep our bodies healthy and our minds healthy. We as adults can set the tone for an emotionally healthy atmosphere in our homes by what we put in practice into our day. So I hope some of these tips are helpful for you and your families, and especially with talking to kids about COVID-19. Just as a reminder, at Pinnacle Point Hospital, we're a mental health hospital that treats kids ages 5 to 17 that are facing any sort of mental health crisis. You can call us 24/7 for a free assessment at 1-800-880-3322. Thanks so much for having me, and I look forward to coming back to